Recently, I was asked to apply an industrial look to a small bathroom, and concrete seemed to be the way to go. That was the direction. I looked into building materials, 2 by 3 foot or 4 by 8 foot concrete sheets, slabs, some decorative, some more construction, basic construction materials. Also, maybe paint would do the job, a trompe-l'œil finish, or vinyl wallpaper with that concrete look. But those last two ones were quickly dismissed because, of course, it's a shower, and there's also water on the floor sometimes. One term which kept popping up is béton ciré in French. That would be waxed concrete or microcement, I found out. And basically, microcement is a decorative coating composed of cement, water-based resins, additives, and mineral pigments. Mix it up and apply it to your walls to give them the look of solid concrete. Also floors and ceilings. And not only does it look like concrete, it is concrete because it is concrete. A thin, but concrete. I found that there are several suppliers, each with their own products and recipes and techniques. I found a local manufacturer, well, local to me here in Quebec, which carries a complete set of compatible products. Their store from which I bought these products even clearly laid out for me the procedures, the number of coats, applications, and time. I don't want to make a big deal about the manufacturer or the store because I'm not running an ad here, but I do want to stress just how pleasant it is to work with Microcement. If you've ever painted with a roller or did your own joints over gyprock, you'll be fine. Or if you can touch your nose with any of your fingers or walk, you should be okay too. Now there are several tints to choose from, usually shades of gray because you want your concrete to look like concrete, right? Mine was platinum, and the finish ranging from ultra matte to super glossy. Well, you can guess that mine was super glossy. And what's great about this is that when applied correctly, it's waterproof, meaning that I could layer this directly over the existing gyprock. And supposedly, it's watertight. Unfortunately, I didn't shoot any of this except for one short sequence, possibly vertical. My film crew was out, the sound technicians were sick, but here's the sequence and the procedure to lay down your own microcement. In my case, this was a 4 foot by 8 foot bathroom with a normal ceiling height, and I was doing the ceiling also and almost all of the floor for a total of 232 square feet. Step 1, liquid membrane. This is a thick, sticky, rubbery substance that'll create a watertight barrier between whatever your wall's made of and the subsequent layers of concrete and finishes. It's applied with a short piled paint roller, a trowel, paintbrush, whatever will get a thickish coat sticking on your wall. And it smells like bus exhaust. Party time. So day 1, about 3 hours because there's some prep time involved. For one thing, you need to put this type of fiberglass joint tape on all corners and joints to stabilize surfaces. You just need to find. Day 2, a second coat of this stuff here. It took about an hour and a half. In all, it took 2.85 kilogram containers. This was almost exclusively for the shower and the floor, where there would be standing water, whatever standing water means. Oh, it stands. It stays. So I returned a couple of days later for step 2, which is this liquid primer. This is an acrylic-based latex which boosts adherence. So on day 3, I applied 2 thin coats of this blue liquid, applied with a narrow short pile roller. It took about 2 hours. And it took 2 1-liter containers for the entire bathroom. I still have a tiny bit left here. Step 3, microcement. It comes in this type of container, but of course, usually it's full and there's a cover on it. It's important to mix the powder contents of the pail before adding water to blend the pigment and the cement. With this type of cute little thin set paddle mixer. I mixed the first batch thoroughly, and still there were pockets of dark and light pigments which hadn't been properly mixed. Not necessarily a bad thing, but you do want some control over the colors your walls are. And you apply the concrete with this type of trowel, as if it was plaster, but plaster blended with a very, very light sand. It actually felt good laying down the coats of microcement. So, that was day 4. First coat, about 3¼ hours. Day 5, a light sanding with this type of palm sander, but with a very, very light grit sandpaper. You just to remove any spikes and maybe some high points, but you do want some relief, followed by a second coat of microcement. Same procedure as the previous day. It took 5 of these 3-kilogram pails to do the entire bathroom. Day 6. A light sanding with the palm sander again and connected to my small shop vac once more, and remove any accumulated dust. Something like 4 hours. Step 4. Though the bottle says step 3, you have to take into consideration that the liquid membrane I applied at the very beginning was specifically to make bathrooms and showers really, really watertight. So, step 4, in our case, is the impregnator sealer. It's a water-based sealer which penetrates the concrete surface and fills the pores and acts as a first step protection against water. Also applied with a short pile roller, all done on day 6. First coat, let it dry. Second coat, about 1.5 hours each. Step 5, 2-component urethane. Water-based, low odor, top coat. This one is even food grade. So you mix these 2 components and apply 4 coats with a narrow foam roller on your microcement. Day 7, first coat. Day 8, second coat. Day 9, third and fourth coat. About 1.5 hours per coat for a total of 6 hours. The whole thing, 22.5 hours spread over 9 days. Of course, that total might include some small installations, but it gives you a fair idea of the time involved. And price, well, that might fluctuate depending on when you're watching this, the market, the product, where you're watching this from. But as of now, mid-2023, in Canadian dollars, raw materials only, excluding taxes, $1,300. That's how much it costs, but that finish is impeccable. So why did I create this video in this manner with all the jump cuts and the janky bits? It's because I don't have a teleprompter and I can't narrate for shit. It used to be newscasters would be sitting at a desk with their piles of paper and they'd just be reading it. And then they'll tell you, they'd go like this, and that's the news, deal with it. Now, and there are 22 little errors if you've made it this far. So thank you and goodbye.